Más y mejores contenidos en vivo y empezamos la cuenta regresiva. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
Hola, ¿qué tal? Soy Daniela Moreno. Bienvenidos a Reprográmate. Hoy no solo vamos a conversar con unos bajistas legendarios, sino con una pieza única y irrepetible de la historia del rock. Un alma que ayudó a dar forma no solo a un sonido, sino a una manera de sentir, ver y vivir la música. Desde aquellos días salvajes con Spiders hasta convertirse en uno de los corazones palpitantes del Alice Cooper Group. Dennis Dunaway no solo tocó el bajo, tocó generaciones enteras con sus ideas, su presencia escénica y su espíritu indomable. Fue coautor de himnos eternos como School Out I'm 18 y ha compartido escenario con gigantes, sueños y delirios. Hoy, con el regreso de la banda original y un nuevo álbum de Revenge of Alice Cooper, Dennis nos recuerda que la rebeldía no se apaga con el tiempo, sino que madura, se afila y regresa con más alma que nunca. La energía feroz de Wild Ownes, hasta el misterio venenoso de Black Mamba y el eco conmovedor de What Happened to You. Este álbum no es solo una vuelta a los orígenes, es un reencuentro con todo lo que alguna vez ardió y sigue ardiendo. Y hoy tengo el privilegio de abrir este espacio en la cápsula del tiempo junto con él, con ustedes el inmenso Dennis Dunaway. Bienvenido, Dennis, ¿cómo estás?
Uh, it was like the emotion was high, but as soon as we walk into a room together, we are back in high school. We're kids again, and we were doing. We were achieving our dream all over again. So it was a lot of fun, and there was no trying to get it back together. It was still the same as always. And we had a lot of great songs, so we were very excited.
Volver a tocar con tus hermanos de banda después de tanto tiempo, ¿cómo fue ese reencuentro emocional? ¿Sentiste el alma del grupo que seguía intacta?
Yo comprende.
Well,
Ah,
yeah, you have to read it over here, Michael.
I don't see
In the
anything
chat
yet.
box. Hit the chat box.
We had played many times together and worked on several of Alice's albums. He would invite us down and we'd contribute a song, each of us, and then we did some shows in England when he toured there a couple of years back, and we did a Christmas pudding, and so we've never really been out of touch that much. But it was a lot of fun getting back together again and working on these songs. It started slowly, and we didn't quite know what we were doing. We just got together and started jamming, and then the field got back together, and then Neil and I were playing out here in Arizona, and then Dennis came out, and then soon Alice followed, and we were all together, and then we went back to Connecticut to finish off the album.
durante las
Más o menos.
sesiones de Revenge of Alice Cooper, ¿hubo algún instante que quizá tocando Wild Owns, Black Mamba, que te atrapara por sorpresa, que te hiciera cerrar los ojos y sentir algo profundo?
I think the emotion was there, but we couldn't close our eyes because we were learning the songs as we recorded them. So I had to keep my eyes open so I could watch Michael's chord hand to know where the song was going. But yes, it was. You can feel that emotion on Black Mamba because it is a very much based on the feel. Because we hadn't rehearsed that song that much. We only played it a few times before we recorded it. And I think the recording is the very first time I played that bass part.
Si pudieras tomarte de la mano con el Dennis de 1969, justo antes de subir a ese primer escenario, ¿qué palabras le regalarías?
I would probably tell him that he's not going to believe what's going to be happening in 60 years.
Suena a himno, pero también a despedida, a libertad, a memoria y juventud. ¿Qué emociones les recorren al interpretarla?
I picture I'm on a motorcycle and my hair is being blown by the wind and I'm picking bugs out of my teeth and trying to get somewhere and I'm late. No,
That's why bikers don't smile.
Yeah.
Bueno.
It was such to know we were going to eventually record this once we got rolling. It was pretty exciting. It was rejuvenating, I'd say. I guess the music is keeping us young and we're still here and still loving it.
Ajá. Escuchar la guitarra inédita de Glen Buxton en What Happened to You fue como abrir un baúl del alma, yo así lo veo. ¿Cómo vivieron ese momento? ¿Lloraron? ¿Sonrieron? Black Mamba tiene un pulso misterioso y elegante, parece como deslizarse en la oscuridad con confianza. Yo les pregunto, ¿qué inspiró esta canción y cómo vieron esta vida en esa línea de bajo tan envolvente?
It was very emotional. It was a recording of Glenn playing that part, which had his energy, and that's all we had. We had the recording of Glenn playing, but it wasn't a song yet. So we added a click track, and then we wrote a song in the studio that we thought Glenn would approve of. And yes, it was very emotional. We're playing and Glenn is on the record.
¿Hay alguna canción en el disco que sientan como una carta abierta a los fans, un mensaje íntimo que les haya nacido directo del corazón?
Well, a lot of the songs that inspire me are just, they start out really simple. They're just kind of something catchy that has a nice sort of feel to it that draws you in. I think that there's a couple of songs on the album like Blood on the Sun, and the other one was oh God, I'm trying to remember all the songs now. That really caught. When I heard that song, I really loved it, and I heard about it before we actually played it, Blood on the Sun, and it had. I heard it had titles to movie pictures, and then they weren't there when we actually recorded the song. But I thought the song was so good that I didn't play anything on it because I didn't want to muck it up. I mean, our friend Rick Tedesco, he was playing some great parts on that, and I was just listening and enjoying myself because it was. But back to Black Mamba, the thing that really threw me, Dennis, was that chant that we did. I had no idea where that came from.
I think we were deciding that it's about a black mamba snake, and we should get like a voodoo kind of a feel. So that's where the chant came from.
Exactly. And we could say this song, Black Mamba, was a tribute to Kachina.
Yeah, but a different snake.
Yeah.
But as far as the bass line, I was just following the chords because I was learning the song as we recorded. And so I was just watching Michael's hands so I knew what chord he was going to play. And then in our earphones, Bob Ezrin and Alice were in the studio, and Alice was singing the lyrics that he had at that point so we would know where we were in the song, because that's how new it was. And Bob Ezrin would say, "Oh, here comes the bridge." And so then I'd know the next change is coming. And the bass line it was just me following along with what was happening rhythmically and trying not to make a mistake.
Okay. Is there a song on the album that feels like an open letter to the fans, a message that came straight from your heart?
Ooh.
A message? Oh, well.
To the fans. I can keep it up all night. That song was a riff that I had written, and when Alice sang the lyrics to it, I was going, is he going to change them? Because he was getting a little risque. And I thought, is he going to sing these? And he actually kept them pretty close to what he originally wrote. And I was just enjoying it because he tells a story about he's styling it somewhere and he's up all night. And so but the song is really catchy and it worked, you know.
I think the open letter to the fans is see you on the other side,
There you
because
go.
it's so insightful to Glen Buxton, and the lyrics are very moving, and I think that might fall into that category.
Absolutely, yeah.
Oh. After all these years, ups and downs, fame, silence, reconnection, what does friendship with Alice, Michael, and Neil mean to you today?
Well, we're family. We're all like brothers, you know, and families stick together through thick and thin, and you know, and not everybody does everything that everybody else likes all the time, but there is a chemistry about these personalities that are all very different, but we all have the exact same artistic vision, and that's what keeps it tight.
Cindy, your great partners and muse has always been a vital part of Alice Cooper's visual universe. How did she shape your artistic vision and your approach to theatrical rock?
Well, Cindy came to Los Angeles to help the band because we had had an accident on the freeway, and Neil's drums got destroyed and my bass got damaged, and all of our equipment was in shambles. So Cindy came to Los Angeles, and she didn't like me at the time, but she got a job, so she brought food for the band. She sewed our clothes, and she was also kind of our therapist. So anybody that had a problem knew they could go to Cindy and get an honest answer. But mostly, once we decided we were going to go in this new direction for the way that we dressed on stage, Cindy was able to find all of these fabrics, and she could make a full set of stage costumes overnight. So that started happening big time.
And repairing them also when things got a little rowdy.
Yeah, so if I have pictures of us on stage, you know, and the back of my jacket will be ripped or something, but that meant Cindy wasn't there that night, you know. So as soon as she'd show up, not only our stage clothes, but she'd have to patch us all back together, all of our clothing.
Yeah, I thought sorry. Your creative fire has never gone out. What keep it alive when every around seems to dim?
Well, she decided that and this was secret. I didn't know anything about it. I would hear her singing in her room, but as soon as my hand touched the doorknob, she would stop. And so she made an album, Verso Varga, which is Jet Setter is the name of the band. And it's quite good. It was way ahead of its time. It's kind of Billie Eilish-like. But then, so she was pursuing that. And then she read about the state of the record business at the time. And she decided she was going to do something that had a more promising future. So I'm very proud of her and our other daughter, Chelsea. They are creative people and they're following their own dreams.
Your creative fire has never gone out. What's keep it alive when everything around seems to dim?
Creative fire that's what we're made of. I mean, not just the Alice Cooper group, but I work with a lot of musicians. And that's one of the great things about our situation. You know, we have a lot of musicians that respect what we've been able to do. and it seems like I'm always working with people or always meeting people socially that have that same fire. It's like, you know, Pablo Picasso once said, if somebody asked him, what would you do if you were in a prison cell and you had no paint? And he said he would wet his finger and draw on the wall. And that's what it's like. We have to do this. It's all I know how to do well.
Yes,
It's karma.
it's karma, it's karma. Being inducted into the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame, was that a closing chapter or the start of a new one?
That's a rough one for me because I was dealing with some personal issues and health issues, and I was pre-diabetic, and I looked like one of the girls from Heart. I was about 300 pounds, and it really held me back. But I thought that we finally, the thing that really struck me, and I saw all those people, the famous people out in the audience and whatnot, is that we finally got some respect or due or attention from people that were also in the music business, and it felt good to be recognized for what we had done. Maybe they didn't care for it personally. That wasn't too much of a problem. They probably feel the same about. I feel the same about some of their music. You know, like it's not always the song; it's sometimes the person as well. And I think we were up for a lot more. I mean, there was we didn't have Glenn at the time, but we kept pushing. And like I said, we did some songs with Alice and toured with him. But I saw it as there's no place to go but up.
When everything was lights, excess, and screams, how did you handle the shift into quieter, more intimate phases? What is hard to adapt to the echo?
Well, I wasn't happy. It was not an easy time of life for me. I spent a lot of time in a darker room, a darker place, but I had my wife, Cindy, to pull me through. But it was a shock. It was emotionally devastating. But I'm okay now.
So many years of glorious noise. What does silence mean to you now? Have you made peace with it?
I think so, but silence is in the eyes of fans because we've been playing all these years. We've been making records all of these years. It hasn't
And
been
writing.
silent.
Yeah.
It's just that a lot of people don't pay attention unless it's the name Alice Cooper.
We're not as much in the public eye, but we're still we love music and we keep pushing it and writing it, and we love to play with other people. And so I think it's a thing where it's a thing on our shoulders that we have to go through life with, but we don't mind.
But on the same token, you know, you have to be careful what you wish for with fame because Alice's, it suits him well, but we're, as the Alice Cooper group, I can go places without being recognized. Alice can't.
Yeah, true.
And we have our respect from musicians and fans, but it's in moderation. It doesn't take over our life.
True.
Do you still keep something from those early Alice Cooper tours, a pick a pass, a turn up a poster, something that still holds a little of that original magic?
Yes.
I have a house full of it.
Oh God.
If you had to make a stripe down, record just you and your bass, no production, no tricks, like a whisper to your inner self, would you do to it? You do
Well,
it?
this album is a stripped down album. We don't have production, we don't have strings, and we don't have horns. This album is just us playing. So, but as far as something that would be even more raw and bare than that, uh, it's just part of, I write songs on a guitar, or I write songs on a keyboard or on a bass, or sometimes just when I'm walking the dog down the street, I will think of a song. So music, even if you're only playing on an acoustic guitar, I have the loud amplifier in my head.
Today, many artists lean into safe formulas. Do you think rock has lost its provocative instinct? What should it reclaim from the Alice Cooper spirit to truly shake the world again?
Well,
That's hard to say going forward.
we come up with fresh ideas, but we have also our favorite style of music, which is what we do. And our favorite style of music is hard rock. And that's not necessarily what's happening on the scene today. So when we write something that is fresh and new, it still is in that hard rock style. Even though I have written songs that wouldn't be for the Alice Cooper group, that would be avant-garde music, more like Stockhausen, or even songs that would be on a children's show or something. But generally, everything we write, everything Neil writes, and everything Michael and Alice write, it's always seems to have that same feel that we're known for. That's just the way we write and just the way we play.
I
If
think
you,
when
yes,
we
yes,
took uh, when we took that time off after the Billion Dollar Baby tour, and I did some tunes. The Beatles were a very big influence on me, but we weren't. Alice was out on the road, and so they really didn't. Neil's album and our album didn't really get much attention, but I had a quieter sort of what you're talking about. Uh, Quieter. A friend of ours, Ed Black, came to the record plant in California and played pedal steel on a song, and it was called "Seems Like I Only Fool Myself," and it was, and I do it every day. But it
So
was
Ed
it's
Black played bass, but he was from the era of when we were all in Phoenix, Arizona. And so
yes.
were the Tubes, the band The Tubes. And Ed Black played bass in a couple of bands, but he also played pedal steel, and he also worked with Linda Ronstadt.
if your entire legacy had to be distilled into a single bass line, a thunder, a pulse, or a silence, which one will it be and why?
Well, uh, it has to be a combination because the biggest thunder comes after silence.
To those fans who've been with you since the first short, who grew up with your music, who still sing those songs like it's the first time, what would you say to them looking into their eyes?
I would say listen to advice from everybody, but be ready to throw it out the window and break the rules.
Before we wrap up, where can fans follow you online to stay connected through this new chapter?
Uh, well, most everything, if they look up Dennis Dunaway, they're going to find me online. Uh, Michael, what do you want to say?
Uh, well, we got off Facebook because it became it was kind of hard to live a regular life outside of the band when people somehow get our phone number and call us and put us on the spot. And so we finally had to get off of Facebook, but we'll be back, once we get out there more. I think that it's only a matter of time, but we want the fans to know that we're very grateful for all their support through the years, that we couldn't have done it without them, because we started off alone, and thank God we're not alone anymore.
Okay. Thank you, Michael. Thank you, Dennis. Thank you for opening your soul, for sharing memories, emotion, and music. This wasn't just an interview, it was a meeting of generations, stories, and deep gratitude. Mm.
Thank you very
I
much.
can't wait to come back to Spain.
Oh,
Other
yes.
band, Blue Coupe, played in Madrid and in Barcelona. And when we were in Madrid, we were at an outdoor cafe and we had ordered coffee. And then it started raining really hard, but we were having so much fun, we didn't even move. We just stayed there in the rain.
Perfect.
Do you happen to know a band? They were very popular when I was over in Spain. They're called the Psychedelic Spacers. That's what the translation is. And they're
All right, Sergio Martez.
Anyway, they came and we played in this club, and they were very serious and they loved it, had a great time. And then I walked out to say goodbye, and they're all put their arms around each other and they were crying. And it's so touching that that we played together, and it just made my day and night.
Actually, when I did these shows I just talked about in Spain, Sergio was the guy that
Oh, Serge,
shows
yeah,
and
yeah.
drove us all around. It was great.
Oh, okay. Wow. Small
Wow.
world.
Yeah.
That's
The-
great.
Also, Salvador Dali was a big influence on our band.
It was a pleasure to interview you, and I apologize for my English. I am a big fan and super nervous. I wish you all the best with this new project.
Oh, thank
Okay,
you.
well, we have to give you a much bigger apology for our Spanish.
No. Thank you, thank you.
Thank you.
Vaya con
Bye.
Dios.
Dios los bendiga.
Ah,
Abrazo.
gracias.
Yo soy Daniela Moreno, esto ha sido todo por hoy y espero encontrarlos el próximo miércoles en punto de las 12 del día. Gracias, hasta la próxima.
Gracias.
Gracias, hasta luego.
Reprográmate con Daniela Moreno. Escúchanos todos los miércoles de 12:30 a 1:30 de la tarde